All right, hey everybody. My name is Noah. This is the next thing. So I'm going to try getting in front of the camera a little bit here. So, what happened to the Dakota was all amped up about. Well, it's gone. Now the Jeep is here. What happened is it just wasn't financially sensible to get that thing going right. It's the engine was questionable and might need a full rebuild, which I was going to do, but the machine shop, a guy who didn't even look at it, asked me questions, said at least $1,000 to hone the cylinders, boil the block, uh, you know, mill all the surfaces, do the heads, fix the one valve seat, and that would have been all right, I guess. But a rebuild kit is at least a few $100. Radiators, $100. Transmission was another big deal. So if I had to do that with the engine and I could find a $300 junkyard tranny, I probably would have done it. But I can't find one. I could find them online for $300-400 with all right miles, but then they want $600 in shipping, and it's got to be to a business address. Which, as a mobile mechanic, I don't have an actual shop. I have my little garage here, but I can't, actually do business here, and I don't have a forklift, so that's kind of a problem. I could have worked that out if I had to, but $600 in shipping, no. It's just, back in the day, you could find, and when I say back in the day, I mean couple 2, 3, 4 years ago, you could find a junkyard engine and tranny almost anywhere. I got a bunch of junkyards around here. I have at least 10 within a half an hour of here. So, but everyone, I call, ask, no, nothing. One guy said he could get me an engine and tranny for $1,800, 100,000 miles, tested good. So I have $800 into that truck. I would have had to do 1,800, so there's 2,600. Radiator, the heater core, 2,800. Fluids, 2,900. Just call it $3,000. That truck is maybe worth 2,500, maybe tops. It was cool because of the single cab short bed, and it was probably my mistake to kind of think I could get an engine. Well, first I thought it needed a rear end, so I was like, I'll rebuild it. Screw it, whatever. If I can't find a junkyard, whole rear axle. So uh, sometimes I've looked at a lot of used vehicles and I know what I'm looking at. But when you look at these really cheap ones that are you're just giving them a couple more bucks in the scrap, you can't spend too much time asking them all these questions. Oh, can I, put a battery and compression test the motor? He's going to say, get out of here. I got 10 other people looking to give me, you know, what I'm asking, or close to what I'm asking, or whatever. So sometimes you have to just show up and pull some money out and say, here, you take it, I'll get it out of here. And that's kind of what I did with the Dakota. I just looked, made sure it wasn't too rusty. If it was rusty, I would not have bought it at all. That was the only reason. So, anyways, I actually sold it to a guy in Connecticut who wants to do something cool with it. Just the shell of the truck. I still have the engine and tranny in my garage. I sold it for pretty much what I paid for it. So, I guess because the work is done, pulling it out. So that's fine. I kind of call it a wash. I didn't make any money, but I didn't really lose any money either. So unfortunately, not a cool project. Holly makes Hemi conversion parts, to do a build in a Dakota. But if I had a whole bunch of money to throw around and make a cool project, I would, maybe one day. If I'm just wasting money down the drain, there's no point in buying things and tooling around and getting rid of them, because I'd just be losing money. So, anyways, here's the next one. Paid $1,000 for this. It's a 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Has a little lift kit, some tires. The tires are dry rotted. I know it needs tires. Has the 4.7 V8. Let me grab you off of here. So overall, it has a little bit of rust. Rocker panels. Can I show you? They both have something like that. A couple little spots on the hood. But overall, it's a pretty good looking Jeep. A few reasons why I bought it. The miles. It only has 145,000 miles. You can see here's the other rocker. So, but that's really just cosmetic. The unibody frame looks good. Overall, it looks really good. So the reason I bought it was because the engine starts right up. So V8, which is kind of cool. A lot of people prefer the inline six, but it's kind of cool with all this power and it sounds good. So another reason I bought it, it's the limited. So it was top of the line back in the day. So this thing has leather, power, heated seats. There's the heated seats. Oh, it's junk. That doesn't stay up. Dual auto climate. Got the little, real wood. It's real. It's real. It's not plastic. Sunroof. It's a little dirty, but it'll clean up really good. The headliner looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good in this thing. It's not like this thing was completely just sitting with flat tires in the backyard like that other truck I bought, which I've gotten a lot of good buys like that. But you know what? Sometimes it's just the way it happens. What are you going to do? So a big reason why I was able to get this thing so cheap, and it's a very common problem with these, you know anything about them, that's a miracle. The hood shocks work. Somebody replaced them as well as the rear door. So let's see what's going on here. Heater core, same thing as the Dakota. But I've done a heater core on one of these before. I know what I'm doing. That's not a big deal. The part's cheap too, so just my labor. It needs a heater core. He actually drove it. He offered to drive it a half an hour to me rather than having to get it towed because it was still on the road. So that's cool. Other problem, you probably see down there, valve cover gaskets. They are leaking terribly, smoking after just a minute of running. So with the heater core, valve cover gaskets. Another thing it needed was an exhaust. I got this thing yesterday. He had a muffler and tailpipe in the bed. Not in the bed, in the back. So this morning I kind of came out and got it installed here. And there's the tailpipe. Because I just had to knock the old couple things off, and there's the new muffler. So it was loud, but now this new muffler, it's stainless steel, so that's pretty cool. So that saved me from having to buy those. But the exhaust sounds great now. It's got just a little glug to it. Nothing too crazy, but it's nice and quiet. See, this door opens right open. So we got shocks, which is nice. Oh, the last thing that this thing needed, which scared people away, heater core is over $1,000 job. So that was a big one. Right here, the shock bushing, let's see if I can show you, is gone. So you try to drive even a little bit, it sounds like the rear end is about to fall out of it. So I have on the way a heater core, an AC evaporator core, because I'll be in there. So I'm just going to do it, do the right thing. Valve cover gaskets. I did the exhaust, and I'm doing 2 new rear shocks. And this thing's going to be pretty mint. The tires are dry rotted. Just a tad. So I'll probably put new tires on it. If I could find affordable, brand new ones. If not, there's a lot of marketplace used ones. So I might just get a set to throw on, a good used set that aren't dry rotted. So anyways, that's this thing. I think it's a pretty good buy for $1,000 because it started right up and drove here. No check engine light even. Or there might have been for an evap leak. But, and last thing, very last thing, is that window regulator. So I already tried it. The motor works. You can hear the cables getting all tangled up in there. So got one of those coming too. So yep. So at least I'm going to be able to make a video about this thing, fixing it all up to being in great shape, and I might sell it. We'll see. But either way, you'll get a heater core video out of this, and I'll probably do another one with shocks and the window regulator, fixing it up kind of video. So maybe we'll do something about the headlights. Oh, and the mirror is broken. I got one of those too. So throw all those little things in the video. So, all right. That's it for this one. And I'll try to go in front of the camera, try to get used to it. So you see a lot of YouTube channels in the very beginning. You don't know what they look like. And so they say it's good to be in front of the camera so people kind of have a face to the name or to the voice. And so here I am. I'm working on it, all right? So thanks, and we'll see you when we start working on it.